there, I'm Andrea Reichert. I'm curator at the Manitoba Crafts Museum and Library. We've been closed for a while. We've been closed since November, and it looks like it'll be a little while longer that we're closed, but we're using this opportunity to bring a few things out from the collection and have these little videos to show you what we have that is always in our storage room. So this session features toys and games because I'm sure a lot of you are playing more cards and games at home or have little ones and you're trying to keep them occupied and busy. And so we have some toys and games related items that we've brought out today. We have a couple games related items in the museum collection, not very many, but we do have these two lovely little pieces. This one is an embroidered table cover for when you have your friends over for playing cards, which you can't do anymore right now. But this is all done in counted thread embroidery with sort of a needle point and two different gauges. There's a finer and there's a coarser, different type of stitch. Each side has the cards. There's horse racing and dog racing, and there's poker on one side. And this side really shows the sign of the times because there's an ashtray with a cigarette sitting on there. Not something you'd necessarily see today. The other little piece that we have is a little tiny cribbage board, and it's wood. It's got ivory inlay, and if you twist this little thing on the end, you get the little pegs. So we've got these cute little rabbits. This little guy here, we don't know anything about him, but he's a handmade little stuffed toy, and I don't know if he was made for Easter or not, but something that a little kid could play with. So this is another rabbit that we have in the collection, and I honestly find him a little bit creepy. He was made by Beth Elaine Gardiner and Robert James, and I think he was made for Easter. I remember that when he came in. So he's all handmade, stuffed, and the only thing that's not handmade on him is his face. And so I think the idea is he would be waiting on Easter morning. So this doll here is a Red Riding Hood doll. I'm sure everyone recognizes her as that. Some of you, if you grew up in the right time period, might remember dolls that serve two purposes, where if you turn it upside down and you put the skirt the other way, you get the grandmother. And she has a hat, a little bit of machine-made lace on it that she can wear. But if you turn her around, take off the hat, you get the wolf too. So this allows you to play all three parts of the Little Red Riding Hood story. Some of you might be being creative at home and doing some puppet shows. And so this is another piece that I find just a little bit odd. Although it reminds me, for those of you who remember, of the old puppet that was on Mr. Dress-Up that was Casey. Sort of reminds me a little bit of that. This one was made by Valerie Olson, so it's got hand-woven fabric on it, and the face is made out of papier-mâché and all hand-molded and painted. I wonder what kids would say today if you handed them a toy like this. This is a pretty old doll. It's handmade. He's lost his face. If you get a close-up look, you can just see a little bit of stitching where his eyes and nose used to be. So this is an example of a handmade doll from probably around 1900 or the 1920s, something like that. He's in pretty sad shape. This little guy, I don't think he was intended to be a toy. I know for a fact he was intended to be a doorstop. He's got a nice heavy weight in him. But I can just imagine kids visiting their grandparents, because this was in an old farmhouse, and playing with this little cat toy. I think he's very charming. We have two dolls that have Manitoba connections. This little guy's name is Snorri, and he is a Huldufolk, which is one of the Icelandic characters. And these little dolls were made in the Gimli area, and so lots of people might have these in their homes. This is the second doll that has a Manitoba focus. It's a Jenny doll. Jenny dolls were made by Judy Stewart in the 1970s and into the 1980s, and each one was unique. Each one was different. Judy is an amazing craftsperson, so it includes a lot of handmade lace. You can see handmade lace along here. The face is painted. The whole doll is made by hand. The lace along the edge of the hat is all handmade as well. A lot of little girls got these. Often they were customized. The purchaser could say, I'd like one with brown hair or blue eyes, or whatever, and that's what you would get. So we have a few of the Jenny dolls in our collection. The last toy that we have is this little frog guy. I don't know anything about who made him, but he was sold in the shop at the Crafts Guild. They had a shop for many, many years on Kennedy, and this little guy was purchased in the 1990s for a little guy and got a lot of use. Thank you for watching our video featuring some of the toys and dolls in the MCML collection. With so much time at home with family, this might inspire you to bring out some of those old board games to while away the hours, or maybe make a new toy for a special child in your life.